Good morning, this is Kellaland on the Go, with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
A T-man will spend decades behind bars after admitting to being part of bringing drugs to the Sioux Falls area.
A judge sentenced 48-year-old Matthew Shade to 21 and a half years behind bars, followed by 5 years of supervision. Shade was the local leader of an organization that brought meth and fentanyl from Arizona to South Dakota.
They would transport the drugs through the mail and cross-country car trips. In December 2024, investigators seized a package containing over 4 pounds of meth.
Investigators later searched Shade's home and found 80 grams of meth, 22 fentanyl pills, and other drugs.
A Madison man has been sentenced to 5 years behind bars for conspiring to distribute drugs in South Dakota.
A judge sentenced 35-year-old Chase May, who pleaded guilty in February. Investigators used an informant to purchase cocaine from May in the summer of 2024.
When they heard May had traveled to Omaha to allegedly pick up more drugs, the South Dakota Highway Patrol conducted a traffic stop.
A search of May's vehicle found cocaine, 7 pounds of marijuana, a gun, and cash.
South Dakota's top law enforcement official says the only person on death row in the state could be executed in late 2026.
The U.S. Court of Appeals for the 8th Circuit has agreed with the district court's denial of Briley Piper's attempt to overturn his conviction and sentence.
The appeals court affirmation was filed on Monday.
This has been a very straightforward case. There were some challenges early on, but this case has been reviewed by a jury, reviewed by a trial judge in state court, reviewed by the South Dakota Supreme Court, reviewed by a federal district judge here in South Dakota, and now the 8th Circuit. Pretty straightforward legal analysis.
Piper is now lodged at the Jameson Annex next to the South Dakota State Penitentiary in Sioux Falls.
Now let's get a check of our weather with meteorologist Scott Mudd. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, Travis. Good morning, everybody. Another cool day. Partly sunny skies this afternoon. Afternoon high temperatures well below average, as we'll have numbers in the 40s and 50s. With that northwest wind continuing 15 to 25 miles per hour. We'll see if we get any wind gusts close to 30. We'll go with a high of 53 in Sioux Falls, 51 Aberdeen, 56 in Pierre, and 56 in Rapid City. Brian will have more details coming up, which includes warmer temperatures. Stay with us.
Thank you, Scott. As mosquito season looms in South Dakota, one small town is taking matters into a 5-gallon bucket. Volga resident Lisa Rathbun is on a mission to educate fellow residents about mosquito mitigation.
She approached the city council 2 years ago with ideas on how residents can do their part to limit the mosquito population.
Asked them to fund 200 mosquito buckets to give out for free to residents. And I would work on procuring them and drilling holes in the lid and buying the stickers.
Digital reporter Marissa Brunkhorst finds out what all goes into the bucket of doom online at Kellaland.com.
With summertime comes an increase in people using Feeding South Dakota's resources.
That's why letter carriers across the state are collecting food donations this Saturday. They're asking for non-perishable foods to be placed in a bag for the Stamp Out Hunger food drive.
Put it near the mailbox, and that could be the curbside box on the street, it could be the box on your house, it could be your neighborhood box unit, your apartment lobby, wherever it is you pick up your mail, put the food there, and a carrier or a volunteer will pick it up.
Feeding South Dakota says this is the largest drive that they benefit from during the year.
Wix advises putting your donations out earlier than later, as your letter carrier may come at a different time than usual.
The Toy Lending Library of South Dakota has created a resource guide for military families supporting young children during deployment. The list starts with free educational toys and books from the Toy Lending Library.
They're available to families at 21 locations across eastern South Dakota, while the deployment aspect is still in the survey stage.
We're going to leave the survey open for at least a half a year and to see, we hope that families will let us know what they need, and then we can see how can we use the toy boxes to facilitate this.
We provided a link with a QR code that leads to a local resource guide, including family and child resources, veteran services, and community support, under this story on Kellaland.com.
That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get another Check Your Weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, so weather picture today. Well below the averages. We're in the low to mid 50s this afternoon for Sioux Falls. That's about 15 degrees below the average. And that cloud cover too comes back into the forecast as we do expect at least more of that to filter in from northeast South Dakota. We've had clouds actually in the far northeast this morning, and that's been shielding you folks from some of the coldest weather. Morning lows have been to record territory. Mobridge down to 21. So we'll come up today, but not a warm day for basically the whole region here. Everybody's going to check in below average with that prevalent northwest wind at about 10 to 20. More 30s scattered around tonight, but then we'll start turning a corner tomorrow. Light winds. I think we're headed for 60-degree weather in the afternoon. There are some rain showers, though, returning to the Black Hills, and that's a theme too we want to repeat and keep in mind here that as we get closer to the weekend, there will be better rain chances in the Black Hills. But the rain chance for Sioux Falls and Aberdeen still looks to be pretty low throughout our 7-day forecast. So that's another item of interest here. Highs today, 53 Sioux Falls, 51 in Worthington, 54 in Huron. Here's your 7-day forecast. We're in the mid-60s tomorrow. Low 70s on Friday, near 70s Saturday, right ahead of a cold front. Now that frontal boundary will bring in some cooler weather for Mother's Day. A little wind out of the north, but still in the 60s. So I would say that's still fair weather. And then we'll turn a corner Monday into Tuesday. We should warm up. Tuesday right now could end up being a windy day. There's some new data supporting that. We'll see if that affects our temperature forecast, the timing there. That's still a work in progress. Aberdeen, we're going to leave it dry. Mid-60s tomorrow, 71 on Friday. A little cool down as we get toward the weekend. That 61 on Sunday is a few degrees cooler, but still compared to what we've had lately, it's warmer than that. And Pierre also looks to be warmer by Friday and Saturday with low 70s expected. And the warmest potential comes toward the end of the 7-day forecast. Rapid City, you're going to get some showers in this forecast tomorrow. Another chance of rain on Saturday. Check out more details online at KELOLAND.com.